And the Sox are in the lead.
The magic number is now 6. It's crunch time, ladies and gentlemen, and the Red Sox, they're crunch-a-munction right now. That sounded extremely corny. I'm sorry for saying that, my goodness. But the Red Sox, they're getting closer here, and this was a massive series win, massive win tonight. You dropping a couple of series in a row there. They needed to come out here to Tampa, and they needed to pick up some wins. You're one win away from a sweep, going to Toronto. We're going to get to the standings in a little bit. We talked about this last night. I think the division might be too good to be true. Might be a little too late, but, well, you never know at the end of the day. And the wild card race right now, it's getting a little hectic. The Tigers, holy cow, we're seeing we might be seeing one of the worst end of the season chokes we have ever seen. I mean, obviously, we still got a little time here, but they are free falling right now, and the Guardians are red hot. I mean, we've seen some crazy stuff before. We've been on the worst possible end of it back in 2011. But the Guardians right now, they're making things rather interesting. But for the Red Sox here tonight, great win here tonight. You had some issues with the bats early on, but you were able to come through in the end, get some big hits. Trevor Story, sorry for the pun, the great story continues. What a season he's had, coming through in just so many big spots. They needed something here tonight, and they got it from Trevor Story and other guys stepping up as well. But what I really liked about this game is that they just kept it close all night, and it was just a battle all night. And listen, to me, I don't care where the Rays are at in the standings. The Rays are always, for as long as I can remember now, go all the way back to 2008. Ever since 2008, the Rays have been one of the most pesky teams. They have driven us nuts. The fact that you came out here to Tampa to Steinbrenner Field, I know it's not their actual stadium, but still, this is a Rays team. They just like to mess with you. They like to ruin your hopes and dreams. And they came out here and took care of business. The Bats getting it going here in support of Kyle Harrison. Listen, I think the Red Sox won the Raffy Devers trade. I'm kidding. Don't get mad at me. But Kyle Harrison did look good here tonight. He looked very good in his debut, starting for the Red Sox. Remember, he pitched in relief in his debut for the Red Sox. This is his first start. He looked very good, very solid. Just a good outing here today, a clean outing overall. Getting a few strikeouts, letting the defense work behind him. He just looked steady out there. That's kind of how he looked against the A's when he came out of the bullpen. Just a good outing for Kyle Harrison. We'll break this down here. The bullpen, though, unfortunately, Justin Slayton, Justin Wilson, a couple of messy nights for them. But luckily, you got the best 1-2 punch in the bullpen in baseball with Garrett Whitlock and Chapman shutting it down. Chapman actually had to throw quite a few pitches here. We need Chapman as fresh as possible the rest of the way here. I would imagine after he threw close to 30 pitches here tonight, I am going to think he's probably not going to be coming out of that bullpen tomorrow. We'll see how they end up going. But I see a couple of you in the chat. Matthew, don't you go on foul territory sometimes? Yes, we are with foul territory. I've gone on a couple of times. And speaking of foul territory, I had credentials for tonight's game. I went to pregame batting practice. I was trying to score some interviews. It was a little tough here today. The last time I went, I was able to get 3. Had Walker Buehler, had Christian Campbell, as well as Tristan Casas. I tried for Trevor Story. Unfortunately, someone else snagged him. And that's just how it is, right? Someone else, they got about like a good 5, 6, 7 minutes with him. Man, I'm like, oh man, I just want like 2 minutes with the guy, but he had stuff to do. So Trevor Story, unfortunately, I was not able to get for an interview here today, but we did get Nate Lowe, got him for about 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes. I'll play that at the end of the show here tonight. Super nice guy, gave me the time, so thank you to Nathaniel Lowe. Appreciate that, my friend. I did try for, again, I don't know why, it was a little difficult here today. I felt like the last time I was there, the players, they just all felt accessible is not the right word. I just felt like last time I had more guys just walking by me, and it was just, it felt easier to just snag them. You know, hey, you got 2 minutes? Hey, can I ask you a couple questions? This time, though, I felt like, I don't know, they just weren't walking by. I don't know if they were teleporting or whatnot into the clubhouse, but it was just tough today. Connor Wong, I tried for him. I don't think he heard me, or he just flat out ignored me. I don't know, but I don't think he heard me, to be honest. Anyway, Connor Wong, I could not get Connor Wong. Trevor Story, though, I tried. I really did. Because I've been told so many times I look like Trevor Story. Do you know how many times I've been told this? And that was my first question I wanted to ask him. Listen, Trevor, before we get to the baseball stuff, can you be the judge? Do we look alike? You know, that was my first question. Maybe one day I'll get to ask him that. Not today, though. Not today. Did say hi to Alex Cora here today. Yeah, pretty cool. It was hot today. I don't know if any of you were at the game here tonight. I don't know if anyone in Tampa is in the chat right now, but holy cow, it was hot. I mean, I was wearing like one of those 3/4 sleeve, like long sleeve shirts. Probably a bad choice. That was like Ron Burgundy with the milk in San Diego. Milk was a bad choice. Well, the longer sleeve shirt with jeans was probably a bad choice. It was very hot. But overall, it was awesome watching Wilyer Bray take some batting practice. They had him in the scrum, in the dugout. They were all asking him a whole bunch of questions. I don't want to say it's funny, because I feel bad in a way. You see Wilyer just sitting there, and he's got a camera like right here, right in front of his face, and he's got the microphones just like so close to him. I'm like, God, can they back up just a little bit? So anyway, but Wilyer Bray saying he's feeling good to go. He's feeling good. He was taking some good swings. I was watching BP for him today. He's looking good. Everything's looking very, very smooth with the swing. You're going to have to see how the running goes with him. That is going to be something to pay attention to, right? With Pregame, he had the lower body injury, the quad injury. So you saw that he was careful with it when he first came back. I think you're going to see the same thing with Wilyer. They're going to have him be careful. They need the bat in the lineup. Luckily for the lineup here tonight, they were able to take care of business. So we'll get into it. We'll break this down. We'll talk about Kyle Harrison. We'll go over everything. We'll take a look at the standings. We'll take a look at Game 3 for tomorrow night. If you can, everybody, just hit that like button for me. Subscribe if you're new. We are trying to get to 5K by the end of the season. We got about 7 games? 7 games left to try and get to 5,000 subscribers. I know that's going to be a tall task. We'll see if we can do it. If not, maybe by the end of the postseason. Everybody, let's get to it here. A lot of familiar faces in the chat. Thank you for joining me here tonight on a Saturday evening. Let's talk about Kyle Harrison first. Let's get to Harrison. He looked fantastic here tonight. So, with Kyle Harrison here tonight, really was just a two-pitch pitcher here tonight. 49% of the fastballs, 34% on the sliders, 15% on the cutters, but he was really just going with those two pitches for the most part. But when I also didn't say this, I mean, yes, I was. You might also be wondering, Robbie, well, if you were at batting practice here tonight, how are you already home? Well, so what I ended up doing, I stayed for a little bit of the game, but I knew I had to do the show. Well, actually, I'm skipping over a part. I actually, in the media, where everyone in the media goes, in the press box, I did scout out to see if there were any rooms that I could possibly use to do the post-game show from there. And I was checking it out, and I'm thinking, I might not be able to do the show because all the rooms were being taken, right? You had... obviously all the Rays media, their radio and TV networks, they were taking the rooms. The Red Sox, obviously, as well. Will Middlebrooks, Will Fleming, walked by those guys a couple of times. I actually ate ate some grub at the table next to those guys. They're very nice guys. But yeah, so they had a room, obviously. All the rooms were taken. So I was thinking, well, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do a post-game show here. I brought my microphone, I brought my laptop and everything to be able to do the show, but I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to do it. So I just thought, all right, I'll stay for a little bit. And then I made the 2-hour drive home. And here we are, doing the show live back in the studio. I listened to the game all the way home. So luckily I was able to do that. Anyway, that's why I'm here. That's why I'm here in the studio, even though I was literally just there. I basically pulled in to my driveway here and got out of the car, basically sat down here, plugged in a couple of things, and I hit live. So we've been bang bang here for the last 4 or 5 hours now. So anyway, I'm rambling. Let's get to it. Kyle Harrison, solid night. 49% in the zone, throwing a good amount of strikes for the most part. It had a couple of command issues along the way. But he was able to get some swing and miss. Not, Garrett Crochet level by any means, but 23% whiffs on the night. Fastball, though, that did get a pretty decent amount of swing and miss. 29% whiff rate. First inning, striking out Caminero. That was a good sign to me. Caminero, he had a whirlwind of a night here tonight. He had a big error late in the game, but he's been so good this year. So the fact that you got Caminero early like that was a good sign to me. Second inning, he worked around a base hit and a wild pitch. Had a 1-2-3 third inning. Fourth inning, ran into a little trouble. Lau with the base hit. And the funny thing is, the couple of knocks that got to him here tonight were off of slurves, and they weren't bad pitches in my opinion. Just kind of left him a little too over the plate. More so the one with Lau. That caught a little too much of the plate. That was in the strike zone. But the one to Mangum on the double there in the fourth inning, that was a slurve that was just down and in, completely out of the zone. And Mangum, he just knocked it for a hit. I'm thinking, how the heck did he even get to that? So anyway, but that double, that tied it up at 1. Get a 1-2-3 fifth inning after that. So a nice bounce back. Sixth inning, he got a little sloppy. Yandy with the base hit. Yandy had himself a pretty good night here tonight. Caminero with the walk. He got Lau to pop out, and then Morel with the ground out, and then Mangum with a strikeout. Overall here, for Kyle Harrison tonight, just very solid. 6 innings, 4 hits, 1 earned, 5 strikeouts, 2 walks on the night. In my opinion, that's, we had the Peyton Tolley debut, the Connolly Early debut for the Red Sox. Those were great. And I'd say this one's pretty solid. Kyle Harrison tonight, looking good. Let's get to it when it comes to the offense. And this was a fun one here tonight. Late, more so. In the early going, it was getting a little frustrating overall. Also, I'm not sure if we are losing signal here. Hopefully we're not lagging. I'm noticing I'm getting a little bit of lag on my end. Give me a thumbs up in the chat if everything's smooth. I think we're good. So, let's get to the offense. Oh, we got a super chat. Mason, how you doing, man? Mason, $4.99, wanted to say thank you, Robbie. Been a tough summer. Got laid off. Oh, sorry about that. In April, just started working and got the job. Your streams got me through the stress. I appreciate that, man. Hey, whatever I can do to help. I'm here to help anyone, even if that's just my dope self talking into a microphone. I'm glad I can help, man. Hey, good for you. Congrats on getting the job. That's awesome, man. That's great. Great news. Thank you for the $4.99, my friend. I appreciate that. Awesome. Everyone, give Mason a shout out in the chat. Give him a nice congrats. Throw those the party emojis. Is that a good one? That's a good one. Party emojis all over the place for Mason in the chat. Offense, second inning. Leaving some runners on again. That's been a thing with the Red Sox. Now, listen, I'm okay if you're straining base runners, right? But as long as you can make up for it later on. That's what the Red Sox did here tonight. But in the early going, you hate seeing it constantly, right? Masa Romy with the base hit. Nate Eaton getting on. You had the error from Williams there. But then Lowe with the fly out, Narvaez with the double play. I mean, what a stinker. I mean, you had the bases loaded there, no outs, and you just couldn't come up with anything. Third inning, though, they bounced back. Duran with the base hit, stealing second. 2 wild pitches was able to get him in. So how about Duran just making his way around the bases rather easily? That made it 1-0 in the third inning. Fifth inning, the Rays had tied it in the fourth inning up to that point. Seti with a base hit. He keeps the hits on coming. Duran with the walk. Bregman staying very productive as of late. RBI base hit. That made it 2-1 at the time. But then Duran, he got stranded by Massa there. So another base runner not able to come on home and give the Red Sox another run. Sixth inning, though, the Red Sox, they kept on adding here. Romy with the hit by pitch. A little bit of a scare at first, obviously. You never want to, I don't know. Anytime a guy gets hit, it always, yeah. As a kid, it's so funny. Like, I remember when I first started playing baseball, I was not very good at baseball. Let's just get that out of the way. I got hit in the wrist, and that just followed me all the way through until the last time I played baseball. Like, I don't know why. It just always weirded me out, man. Like, it was just, I think it was because I got hit on the wrist, I'd got hit on the leg, and stuff like that. But, getting hit on the wrist, nope. Not a big fan. But Romy, he was able to get on. He stole second. Eaton with a sac bunt. And then Lowe with a sac fly made it 3-1. So the Red Sox were in a good spot. But, unfortunately, the bullpen, I mean, my goodness. I mean, this bullpen, yes, you got an amazing 1-2 punch with Whitlock and Chapman, but these guys in the middle, man, I just feel like is it just me? It just feels very messy as of late. A little too messy for my liking. Justin Wilson, he's been a little off here as of late. He's had a couple of clunkers, right? He gave up a couple of runs to the Yankees not too long ago. He's come in for like a third of an inning a couple of times. I just hasn't. He looked so solid in the up until like August, right through August. He was looking great, but I don't know, lately just hasn't felt the same. He got charged with a couple there tonight. Lowe with the walk. He stole second. Fortes with the double drove in a run. He got Williams to pop out. Then Slayton came in, gave up the base hit to Yandy. That tied it up to 3. But luckily, like I said, you got that 1-2 punch with Whitlock and Chapman. Whitlock, hey, I love me a guy that can get a nice good old pickoff late in the game. He struck out Lowe, Mangum with a base hit, but then he picked him off, got him caught in a rundown. That went back and forth for a little bit, but they eventually got him. Then he got Morel to ground out. And then the Red Sox coming up big. In the ninth inning. Seti with a ground ball to third base. Caminero with an error. Goodness gracious, it just went right by him. Seti, good awareness there, getting all the way to second base. Duran striking out. I started kind of panicking in my head. I'm like, come on, man, we can't blow this. Please don't blow this. But then Trevor Story coming on through. Siri is talking to me, ladies and gentlemen. Siri, not right now. No, Siri. Trevor Story, coming up clutch. We got to pull up the numbers with Mr. Story. This guy's just been fantastic. Let's pull up the updated numbers. He is getting closer to 100 RBIs. I think Story has a legit shot at 100 RBIs for the year. He's already gotten into the 25-30 club. Add 100 ribbies to that, that's not bad. That's not bad. When it came to the 25 homers, 30 stolen bases, and 90 RBIs, he's the 8th shortstop all time to do that in a single season. I'd have to go look at how many of those guys got to 100 RBIs, but that would definitely be smaller company there. But Trevor Story on the year, hitting 265, OPS at a 753, 25 homers, 95 RBIs, 31 stolen bases. I mean, what else is there to say? Guy's been amazing. Coming up clutch here tonight as well. That made it 4-3 with the base hit out to center field. Bregman with the base hit. Massa coming through. Anytime Massa at this point, anytime he can contribute, I'm just stoked. I love it. Listen, I love Masataka Yoshida. Like, I just want the guy to hit. he just hasn't been very productive. But I will take something like that all day, every day. Massa, man. Macho man. Base hit, made it 5-3. Romy with the sac fly, made it 6-3. And then Chapman came in. 27 pitches. Probably not going to see Chapman tomorrow. I would think he's not going to come in tomorrow. I don't know, though. I wonder. Got 7 games left. You do have the day off on Monday. I think the dream for Cora would be to not have him go tomorrow. You got Monday off. So it'd be 2 days off, right? Hopefully they don't have to go to him. And I wonder if they're even going to go to him if they need him. I don't know. It'd be interesting. But Chapman got it done. Did walk a guy, but he got a strikeout there. In the end, the Red Sox win. Great night for the Red Sox. Great win. Just sure. Are the Rays and the A's in postseason contention? No. But they're gritty teams, right? We saw this with the A's, right? You got bats all over that lineup. Sure, the pitching is kind of whatever, but, any team right now, you see what Kurtz is doing this year. The guy's just a freak. He's an alien from another planet, for crying out loud. Kurtz is... I'm telling you, when Nick Kurtz got drafted, my first thought was, this guy looks like the next Jason Giambi. He's amazing. Anyway, I'm rambling on about the A's, but that's not a tough lineup to go against. You drop that series, right? You got the big win in Game 2. And then here are the Rays. They've always been a pesky team. They've always been a pest. Always been a thorn to the Red Sox. How many years now? Ever since 2008. It's always been like that. So anytime you get a series win against Tampa, on the road especially, I always feel good about it, right? I feel even better about it. The fact that, if they had got it done at Tropicana, because that's just the house of nightmares, I'm pretty sure I'm like 20 games under 500 at Tropicana Field. My record at Tropicana, I don't even know. It's probably like, I can't even think of how many times I've been to Tropicana, but if it was like 50, let's say I've been 50 times, I probably have a record of like 10-40. It feels like that anyway. I saw the 2009? 2009, Saito. Remember, they had Saito on the Red Sox that year. He gave up the walk-off home run to Evan Longoria. The cowbells give me nightmares. That walk-up music, Evan Longoria, I'll always remember that. The walk-up music that he had. I still remember I can hear it. He comes up, walk-off home run. Tropicana Field has always been a nightmare. Steinbrenner Field is, yes, it's a minor league field, but it's nice. So, Anyway, I don't even know what I'm saying at this point. It's just nice to beat the Rays, okay? Hopefully, they can get this sweep here tomorrow. At the end of the day, the goal is to get a series win. I would like this sweep here tomorrow for good reason, not just to feel good. Oh, cool, we got another win. No, there's a little bit more to it. I'll explain in just a little bit. Before I do, though, we do have a word from tonight's sponsor. I'll be right back.
Kratz, I'm going to steal a line right from the top here about MeUndies. A cut for every butt. I took a line that I feel like you would enjoy, but then you stole my thunder with show and tell. What do you have there?
Besides a huge Baduka dunk, this is my pair of MeUndies that I got. I'm not going to show you the other pair right now because I got them on, but it doesn't even feel like you have them on. Super soft, flexible, and yet holding everything together.
I love the 20 different styles, 100 different colors and prints, and the micro-modal fabric is what you're talking about. Breathable, stretchy, unbelievably cozy. And right now, as a listener of FT, you can get cozy and spooky for less with deals up to 50% off at MeUndies.com/foul and enter promo code FOUL. That's MeUndies.com/foul, promo code FOUL for up to 50% off. MeUndies, comfort that's made for fall.
All right, so why do I want the sweep? Well, pretty simple answer. Because if you get the sweep tomorrow, again, I'm dreaming here. I probably sound ridiculous what I'm about to say. But the Blue Jays lost again here today. They've now lost 4 straight. The Red Sox, they've won the last couple. They've picked up a couple of games on the Blue Jays. They're 4 games out. If the Blue Jays drop that one tomorrow against the Royals and the Red Sox pick up the sweep, you're 3 games back. I know, asking for a sweep in Toronto, that's no easy task. However, I'll say this. If you're able, let's say you win the series, right? Let's say you couple of games out, right? Let's say by the end of that series against Toronto, let's say you're a couple out. And then you got this Tigers team just free-falling right now. Listen, it's a long shot. It's probably not going to happen, but the division is absolutely still right there. Not saying it's going to happen. I know I sound crazy. I know I do. You don't have to tell me. But it's possible. So, yeah, I want that sweep tomorrow. I want to go out there and get the job done. If you are with us on Nesson, I do have to wrap it up right there. We are out of time. But we'll be back here tomorrow night for the post-game show for Game 3. We do have a night game on tomorrow, so we will be back here late tomorrow. Nesson viewers, thank you for watching. We'll see you tomorrow. But let's get back here. Let's check on the wild card. Let's see what's going on. It's chaos right now, ladies and gentlemen. It is chaos. The Guardians are now tied for the 3rd wild card spot. I see you in the chat. Swifty edits. The Guardians still have a negative run differential. It's crazy. Crazy. I mean, you could be... That's just how not good they were. I don't want to say they were bad in the first half, but they were just very underwhelming, right? But they just weren't very good in the first half. But they're scoring runs here lately, and they're pitching well lately. They're starting to claw their way back into that positive run differential. But that is nuts. The fact that the Guardians have won 10 straight with 7 games left, that's bananas. B-A-N-A-N-A-S, bananas. I can't believe that. I mean, just last week, we were talking about how the Rangers were a game out. We were talking about how the Royals were a couple of games out. I mean, for crying out loud, we were talking about how the Rays, a couple of weeks ago, were starting to claw their way back into it. And here are the Guardians just out of nowhere, taking everybody's lunch money and then eating their lunch right in front of them. They're wrecking everybody right now. 10 straight wins to get back into the race. That's insane. And then you look at the Tigers. Like that's crazy. They just dropped their 5th straight here today. What the heck has happened to this Tigers team? I mean, you go back to the beginning of the first half of the year, you know, the offense was doing pretty well. I'd have to dive into the numbers to kind of see what exactly has been going wrong. But, you know, you picked up Kyle Finnegan at the deadline. He'd been very good for them. I mean, you know, obviously Scooble. Man, crazy. Just crazy to see what's happened here. And the Guardians are now 1 out in this division. 1 out. If they, over the next few games here, if they take sole possession of first place in the Central, we got the Tigers for the last series. And, I mean, that could end up being a good thing or a bad thing the way you look at it. You could be looking at it from the perspective where, oh, the Tigers, they're choking right now. I mean, they're looking like maybe not quite like the 2011 Red Sox, but because that was really bad. That was really bad. I never want to think about 2011 ever again. The fact that I even just brought it up, I'm going to probably cry myself to sleep tonight. But, I mean, they're definitely... this is turning into one of the bigger choke jobs that we can remember. But, so you could look at it that way. Last series, oh, the Tigers, they're wounded. They're vulnerable. Oh, this would be a great series for the Red Sox here. But then you could also look at it from the Tigers, a different point of view, where, okay, desperation starts to come in, and they're playing with high urgency, right? So, I mean, that last series against the Tigers could very well feel almost like a postseason matchup. That's going to be obviously, we still got a few games until that last series, but that could get interesting. But for the Red Sox, you're in a decent spot right now. You're a game up on both Cleveland and Houston. So, as of right now, the Red Sox and the Yankees, they are matched up in that 4-5 for one of the wild card matchups. So, we'll see what happens here tomorrow. Taking a look here at tomorrow's game. And like I said, I want that sweep. I want it badly. But it's not going to be easy. Let's take a look. 7:35. Is this game on ESPN tomorrow? That's very interesting. A Sunday game, not on ESPN, on at 7:35. That's interesting. Is that normal? Am I forgetting something? Because I thought to myself, maybe it's on national TV. No. Not at all. Just on normal networks. I don't know. Am I missing something? Anyway, we got Connolly early again. Unfortunately, he's not going up against the A's. He's going to have to go up against a different team at some point. So it is what it is. But he's looked fantastic in his first couple of starts. He handled the A's. How many innings was it? Was it 10 innings overall? 10 and 2/3, 10 and a third. Can't fully remember. But that first outing, his debut, striking out guys left and right. The strikeouts came down a little bit the last time out, but he still had he was just in complete control. Yeah, everything was looking solid with him. What I even liked in that last outing that he had, he was giving up less hard hit balls, right? You go back to that first outing, sure, he was racking up the Ks, but he was giving up a few hard hit balls along the way. Last outing, though, not so much. So I actually thought he looked great, despite not replicating that strikeout total. We've got an interesting matchup here tomorrow, going up against Joe Boyle, who I'm a fan of Joe Boyle. I think there's some stuff there that I think he could be pretty good. This guy's massive, by the way. He's 6'8". He's a freak. He's a freak of nature. He's an absolute alien. 6'8", 250. Dude's massive. But let me pull up here Joe Boyle on Fangraphs. Now, ERA, FIP, right around the same. He's pitched in the bullpen a little bit. He started a little bit. The one thing, well, two things that jump out to me. He's got a decent strikeout rate, 9.2 strikeouts per nine, and he's not giving up, a lot of long balls, 1.2 home runs per nine. But this guy's got a lot of velo. He's massive, we just said. He's got good extension as well. He's hard to pick up. The one problem with Joe Boyle lately, over the last couple of years, he walks a lot of guys. Go back to last year, he was walking 7.5 per nine. This year it has improved, 4.4 walks per nine. So that could be something where, for the Red Sox, sure, I do love, at times, I love the aggressiveness, but that's where tomorrow you really got to try to be patient at the plate. You got to try and work those pitches, try to get that pitch count up, try to get to that bullpen because he has been prone to the walks. Let's actually go here. Let's go to StatCast. Let's see what it's saying here. He is giving up some pretty, again, he's not qualified with a lot of this, but he's giving up a lot of hard hit balls. I mean, take a look. I mean, again, you can't fully see because it's kind of faded out a little bit, but he's giving up right around 91 miles an hour on average with the exit velo. He's not getting a lot of guys to chase out of the zone. He's getting a lot of swing and miss in the zone. And that's because, it's 57th percentile when it comes to the extension. But when you're that big of a guy, it's just going to be a little harder to pick up. So he's getting the swing and miss. He's got a decent K rate. But again, he's walking guys, giving up barrels a lot too. I mean, 12% barrel rate. That's very low or very high. Hard hit. I mean, this could be something where I'm really looking for the Red Sox to be selective. Take some pitches. Look for your pitches. And just mash. You know, I don't think it's going to be an easy matchup. He's got good stuff. He's really going to come at you with two pitches for the most part. He's got the big fastball, obviously, uses that 52% of the time, and he's got that slider at 33% of the time, and he's got a splitter. But again, I think this is a matchup where the Red Sox, they can really work that patience a little bit. This could be a start for Boyle where it could end up being maybe a short one if the Red Sox can execute the game plan. Now, taking a look at the game log, he did go 6 innings his last time out. That was the longest outing of his season. That was against Toronto, and they got a good lineup there. 6 innings, 3 hits, 5 Ks, no walks. So he's coming off a very good start, his best start of the year. In fact, that's the only start this year where he's given up 0 earned runs, pitching more than 2 innings. The only other time he gave up 0, or he didn't give up any runs, was when he went 2 innings. Or he did go 5. Sorry, let me take that back. He went 5 innings against the Dodgers. 0 earned. But last time out, that's the longest he's gone this year without giving up an earned run. So we'll see what we get here with Boyle. I mean, there's definitely been some inconsistencies with him. We'll see. But for the Red Sox, Connolly early. Let's see if he can keep up this momentum. He's looked very good. The poise has been there. The composure has been there. The mechanics have looked smooth. Everything's coming out of the hand nicely. Velo's looking good. He's got good life on the fastball as well. That's what I've really liked about the first couple of starts. Everything's just looking good. I'm excited to see what he can do in start 3. But everybody, I'm going to wrap it up right there. That's all I got for tonight. I'm kind of exhausted, to be honest with you. I'm not kidding. Like, I left today. I have a 2-hour drive from where I am to get to Tampa. And, so I left, what time did I leave? I left around like 2:30, like 2:33. Let's just say 2:45. Then I got there, got the credentials, walked to the field. As soon as I got on the field, that's when the Red Sox went on to the field for batting practice and everything. So I was pretty much going right there. I took like 15 minutes to go eat something right after, and then, went up to the press box. Then basically just immediately drove home. And then I came and went live for this. So I've been just nonstop here for how many hours now? Almost 8 hours straight. Feel like I've barely had any time to breathe, minus shoveling some food into my mouth. But we do have one pregame interview. I'm going to play that for you guys. I did post it on Twitter, but I'll play it for you here in case you missed it. Talking with Nathaniel Lowe. Unfortunately, like I said at the beginning of the show, the only one I was able to get. Hopefully next time I go, next season, we'll get some more. We'll see. But here was the chat with Nathaniel Lowe.
I got to ask you, man, it's been a roller coaster of a year for you. You're with the Nationals, coming over to the Red Sox. Just give me a couple of words to describe just this whole process for you.
Crazy is a good one, because it's getting cut was not in my personal plan. Putting together that slash line there was not really in my personal plan, and thankful for being able to throw it out the window and play winning games.
So coming over to the Red Sox, what were some of the adjustments that they had you make that has really gotten you very productive with them so far?
Well, I feel like I'm allowed to be me, and it's not that I wasn't allowed to be me in DC. It's just I'm in a position to where we're scoring these runs, and maybe we've gone through a little bit of a slow stretch, but it feels like the offense is pretty much on the same page, and we're doing a good job to win games.
And one more question here. With the Rangers a couple of years ago, obviously winning a World Series, what do you think you're, with that experience that you had, do you feel like you're bringing a lot of that, experience over to this team?
Yeah, it never gets easier, but it gets more simple. And having that experience adds to the simplicity of we have one job to do today, and that's win the game. Can't watch a scoreboard and hope for something to happen elsewhere. We only have to go out and play our best tonight.
Just one more question. I know I said 3. I'm sorry. One more, because you just made me think of something. What do you think of the keys here? 8 games left. What do you guys think you got to do?
Play aggressive, be simple, and play clean baseball.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you so much.
I just realized I wasn't wearing my hat. Man. You just saw me without a hat, ladies and gentlemen. You just saw me without a hat. My goodness. Anyway, I'm out of here, everybody. Thank you for joining me here tonight. If you can on the way out, hit that like button. Subscribe if you're new. Again, trying to get to 5K over the next 7 games. Hopefully by the end of the postseason we'll get there. But I'm out of here, everybody. Thank you for joining me tonight. We'll see you tomorrow night.